What's going on, guys? We're out here at Black Market Racing. We're finally getting the modifications that we're gonna need to make our Mustang track ready. So if you've never been to Black Market Racing, they've got some pretty interesting stuff at any given time. Got this crazy CTSV making, I think this thing makes close to 1800 wheel. And you've got Austin, which is a co-owner. He's got his crazy Evo over here. Makes about 1,000 as well. And then some customer cars up here. This 6 Skyline with TEs and a full Tomei exhaust. I got some cool race cars. Got some friends here. These two are friends, as you can tell. Got nearly the identical setup. The story behind this, the daughter got to pick what the livery was, and last year it was Transformers, and this year it's My Little Pony. And then we have this thing. Hey, what's going on, guys? You can notice the audio changed a little because I am not talking in this video, as this was filmed a long time ago. As you can see, our Mustang is shadow black and it is not wrapped, and again, these videos are very old. So we're here at BMR trying to get a baseline number on our Mustang here, and if you don't know, our Mustang is equipped with Turbonetics NX2, full race motorsports bolt-ons, and our newly added Tomei titanium single exhaust. Let's see here, with these mods and kind of a rough tune here, we're putting down 352 and with a high torque of 383 wheel. And if you guys can see here, the dyno graph is pretty goofy as it looks like a dirt bike track, and that's not good. So we went and contacted Ryan Martin over at PD Tuning for some tuning solutions, and he was just throwing wastegate duty cycle at this thing like crazy, and nothing was changing. And he decided to tell us, hey, remove the wastegate, let's see what's going on, let's replace the wastegate. But after removing it, we discovered the wastegate flap was totally it was stuck. We could not move the flap, and we called Turbonetics. Basically, we had gotten a prototype turbocharger, so no problem. We took it off, sent it back to Turbonetics, got us a new turbo, and additionally, we added the Turbo Smart wastegate, which has a stronger wastegate spring in it and has better control of boost. So we did replace the plugs just for precautionary measures, but you know, honestly, I didn't see any problems with the OEM plugs, but we did replace them with the NGKs, gap to 28 thousandths. So after we got our new turbo, spark plugs, and wastegate in, we went back to the dyno on VP Racing MS109, and on our first pull, we were met with issues already. We were just spraying oil all over the place, and I mean, we're not equipped with a catch can, and I remember back in the day someone told me that I definitely needed one. I didn't listen to them, but I mean the oil found its way out of the valve cover, so we had to stop tuning. So we're back here at the shop. As you can see, we've got an array of parts laid out here. What do we got here, guys? We've got our MGW shifter, a bunch of UPR lines in the cans. We've got a ton of ZL1 add-on parts. There are strap points, tow hook, front and rear, the radium breather plate, again, just helping out that oil situation in the motor, and our Hawk front pads, the DTC pads that we've come to learn are very loud and put out a ton of dust. Last but not least, we got our Voodoo 13 rear camber and vertical link arms, and we'll be installing this beautiful kit that UPR Products provided us. This is their triple catch can system. So you've got your dirty side can, clean side, and breather can. UPR has also included their billet engine breather tank that will help us alleviate that block pressure as well, so we're not getting any of that crazy blow by. So we're not gonna really go in depth on this install. What it's gonna be is gonna be a bunch of highlight clips just showing what we did to this Mustang to make it track ready, and especially ready to go back on the dyno with that MS109 tune, so we don't blow any oil. We've got our tow hooks ready, we've got our strap points for our Jim Glow trailer, and additionally we've got our Voodoo arms that we found out will make the car insanely stiff, and it makes the car just a completely different animal. And in fact, I feel like I've got to relearn how to drive the car altogether. Where's that bolting, that bolts to right there?
Yep, it's right here.
You're able to clock the catch can with these Allens. So I'm going to let some audio from the actual video roll over. Again, I don't think I was feeling really good this day, so that's why I decided to do this voiceover, and I'm not sounding the most excited, so just kind of bear with me, and we're going to get through these installs. This is a stock VPS line, and for you to put the new UPR line on, you'll either use a heat gun or a razor blade to go and cut the OEM
connector off that goes into the valve cover, and then you're able to repurpose that fitting onto the new hose with the sleeve that goes back into the valve cover just like that. And there's already a VPS sensor on the UPR line, which is really cool. So if you don't know, guys, our Mustang is equipped with the bigger NX2 Turbo and NX turbocharger and the turbo kit that we offer. So with that said, when we're installing this UPR catch can, it obviously just doesn't go on. So UPR has provided us with their custom solution, which is a intake coupler with a nipple on it that will allow the UPR line to go on. Again, you will need this if you are running a catch can with an NX2, and it's highly advisable that you do run the catch can, as you are shoving a lot more boost into the block.
So make sure the check valve is going away from the catch can. Clip it out like that, and turn this baby around and like that.
So we got our dual valve catch can all hooked up to our NX2. Got it going to the intake over there already. Goes underneath the throttle body. And then we've got our, what is this one? Our clean side, right?
Yep.
It's our clean side catch can. And now we'll be working on the dirty line catch can. I'm Dirty Dan. So Neil has successfully removed the OEM PCV baffle plate, which is kind of this plastic piece here. And we'll be upgrading it with our full CNC aluminum radium plate that allows us some dash fittings into the block. So EPR does include some sleeves here, and we want to show you why they have the sleeves. So for people that have never done dash fittings here, so check this out. Your sleeve goes over the hose, and then your dash, well, your plastic push lock dash fittings go in. That's what it ends up looking like. Nice clean install.
So they give you enough length to pretty much mount this anywhere in the engine bay. But we're going to mount it right here, and we're just going to use this 90-degree quick connect fitting and stick it there and just measure and cut where it's needed.
Took a Okinawa measurement.
Makes a nice, clean, quick connect fitting.
So we are putting in the ZL1 tow hook, the front tow hook for the ZL1 add-ons. And just to let you guys know, this is not going to be a full install video. We're just highlighting of what we're putting on the car, as this would be a 1-hour video if we did all of the install. But our ZL1 add-ons tow hook is mandatory in racing, so that's why it's going on. And we'll be doing a rear one as well, but we'll cover some highlights here. So something I want to show you guys here, this is our full race intercooler for the Ecoboost Mustang, but we have gone ahead and replaced the entire crash bar with our own crash bar here, so you don't have to drill those tabs for the intercooler that I've had numerous complaints that it's extremely hard to drill through the OEM crash beam, which it is. So, again, this is more for a hardcore user. You're able to purchase a complete replacement for that crash bar, and it's a much cleaner look.
As you can see here, we've got our full race crash beam, which is obviously much different than the OEM crash beam. And the plate that we got from ZL1 does not work with our intercooler. On a GT350, there is no intercooler, so the plate that this is made for, and on a GT, as you can tell, if we put it actually behind the crash bar, it would hit the intercooler. So we went ahead and put it in front of the crash beam. I don't recommend doing this, but again, it's mandatory that we do have these tow hooks, so we had to work with what we got.
We got some light for you guys. Here we go. So we just had to take some bolts off the our full race crash beam, and then just as simple as 1, 2, 3. Put the ZL1 plate right there. Get some more lighting on that. It's just like that. Okay, we're going for our test fit on our ZL1 add-ons tow hook here. We're going to put the bumper on real quick and then try screwing in that tow hook to see where it mounts up, because this is not an original GT350 bumper. This is a Anderson Composites one, so it's a little different. It is not as wide as a GT350, but it does have that mean aggressive look. Just going to cut up the honeycomb as clean as we can here. You guys can see the tow hook going in. And just tighten that back nut there, secure against the shaft, and there we go. We got our front tow hook installed. Pretty straightforward, easy enough. So we got Neil starting on the rear bumper right now on the rear ZL1 tow hook. So he's got to remove the bumper. We've actually got to drill the bumper behind the license plate bracket. So obviously I'll be removing the license plate every time we go out to the track, so no biggie there, but just as a reminder, if you are doing the rear tow hook, you will have to drill your OEM bumper. Tips and tricks here: you got to remove the top paneling on the rear taillights, and if you have a shaker model like mine, you will have to remove the subwoofer. Just move it over to get access to the rear bumper. This is the third time these lights have been out. Just to show you guys here, we've got little nuts holding the rear bumper in. Be a bad day if you do. So we're discovering more hidden bolts everywhere that hold this darn thing on.
You know, I'm just trying to figure out a way to pull this fucker apart. Is that so?
We got the rear bumper off right now, and we're measuring the crash beam, as we need to take our ZL1 bracket and go ahead and mount it on the bottom of our crash beam. And then next we'll be making some, be drilling into the crash beam to mount that tow hook bracket. And shortly after we'll be drilling through the bumper so we're able to mount the tow hook. Holes marked. I'm gonna go and take off the crash bar here. And get those screws out. The crash beam is 57 inches, so we just went right in the middle.
So just as a note here, guys, this metal is extremely thick, or I don't know what the hell this thing is made out of, but it took us a solid hour to drill through, so we're fast forwarding through this video pretty quickly.
So it may be a little difficult to install those bolts back into your crash beam, so if you put a little electrical tape on the end of your socket, that bolt will stick to that socket, and like magic, you can get that thing right back in. He's just gonna mark the bumper from behind. Neil has magically found the absolute center of the bumper behind it. And that's our drill point right there. And here's our ZL1 receiver on the rear of our Mustang. And the tow hook will screw in right there, but first we still gotta drill that bumper. Oh God, I'm crying. Oh my God. Oh Neil, what have you done? Do we dare look at the other side right now? Took out the M. Took out, oh, it's actually really clean, to be honest.
That's it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Going down right now, guys. ZL1 add-ons rear tow hook.
You got really quiet there.
So I went about 12,000 miles without an oil change, and it is very apparent. Definitely don't recommend doing that, but we're gonna give her the best Motul 300V.
So we've got our Voodoo 13 install going on right now. Austin and Neil are going to be double teaming this here. Basically, just to get the alignment set to get to the alignment shop, we're just going to match up the OEM arms in just for a rough measurement here. And again, a comment that I want to make here: if you guys buy these, make sure you are tracking your car. These are not for daily driving use. They make your life a living hell on the street. They will come loose. So every time you do a track day, you need to check them. I mean, these things are extremely hardcore. Again, I only recommend them for track use. And if you can see here, I'm going to show you this bushing. Our rear LCA bushing is ripped. And I don't know if you guys launch your car on some really sticky tires, you can hear some crazy noises happening in the back of that car. So we're gonna need to get that replaced here soon. This install right here literally only took us 10 minutes. These are our ZL1 add-on strap points. These strap points make it insanely easy to tie our car down on our Gym Glow trailer. Again, I'm not gonna show a lot of this install as it happens over the exhaust pipe. So you're not gonna see much and there's not much to explain. Again, we have a full write-up by Chandler that explains to you step by step how to put an MGW shifter in your S550. Nice. We're starting our MGW install right now. And Neil has taken off some of the accessory panels and the shifter up top. Now we're under the car and he's removing the two nuts that hold the shifter to the chassis now. So according to the instructions, this can be done without pulling the trans and the drive shaft. So Neil's got tiny hands. I don't actually see a problem with this. Now if you had some bigger hands, might be pretty troublesome as you got to go between the transmission case, the exhaust, and drive shaft. For the GT guys, it's probably a little more difficult because you've got the twin exhaust setup opposed to our Ecoboost here with a single exhaust. So get yourself a Neil and this job might go a little easier. I've got this 3-light setup going here. We got 2 kickers and we've got a nice key light lighting up Neil right now. As most people know, working in a shop or on a lift and trying to film videos presents a very large lighting challenge. But if you get yourself a set of ZL1 add-on toe strap points, we can light with some cool effects.
I'm just lowering the trans to gain access to this top pin for the front link, the shifter link, and then after I get that bolt out, I'm going to take the linkages out. And this bolt we are reusing, so do not throw it away. And I want to take the two 10mm bolts and move the shifter from the bottom. And then get the link to go through the car because you're going to want to take it out from the inside of the car.
Some nice dust effects, guys.
Either a 1/2 inch or a 13mm pin that holds in the shifter link. So we're going to install the linkage now and make sure to apply some glue Loctite that's supplied in the kit. Just gonna... What?
Basically, we're not going to film a lot of this portion because it's literally impossible to see. We've tried everything. All right, we got the MGW and it's going in right now.
And just let it kind of rest on top of the drive shaft for now. Gotta raise up the car.
So
the linkages now.
We just gotta rest, like you were saying, you gotta rest it right there, and we gotta hook it all up now.
Right now he's making the adjustments to the side of the shifter that will allow us to go in reverse and first and second gear. Correct? Or?
Yes.
Gotcha.
All right, Neil made those adjustments to our MGW shifter, so I just sat in the car and we've got reverse, first all the way to sixth, and my initial feel about it, oh man, it is short. The gear from first to sixth is insane. Like, it is unbelievably short. We'll have to do a drive video to show you guys how short it actually is, but I just want to get in the car and kind of drive, and I'm a little nervous because, man, that is a short throw shifter. Like, I ordered everything standard spec, and it still seems to be pretty tight, but the test drive will definitely prove if I'm able to get used to it, because I've never really enjoyed short throw shifters myself personally, but who knows, this could change my opinion. Last project, step, whatever you want to call it.
Later, bros!
Neil is taking off the brake calipers to replace them with our Hawk pads. Our Hawk DTC race pads. They're loud and they have aggressive bites. Oh no. Oh, here we go.
And last but not least, we're gonna put our hawk pads in. And to give you guys a quick note, these are only racing pads. Do not use them on the street once again. They are insanely loud. They dust like crazy, and they only work when they're hot. So, I mean, again, I don't recommend these for street use.
The brake caliper is as big as his head.
So after we got that wrapped up, we went straight to the dyno where we just did a few pump gas pulls to see where we were at. Again, we made 383, super happy with that. Right after our pump gas, we threw that VP Racing MS109 in and made a great 420 wheel horsepower, and again, we got stopped. We hit another brick wall, we ran out of fuel, the car just would not make any more power. But you know what? Once I got the car on the street, that number was pretty irrelevant, as the car definitely moves out now, and I couldn't be any happier with Ryan and his tuning abilities. So I'm sure you guys are asking, okay, well now what? You guys wrapped up the car, so what do we gotta do now? Well, we gotta get alignment really quick. We're gonna be heading out to Apex Motor Club, and shout out to them for letting us use this extremely beautiful facility. And after that, we'll be heading out to Tucson to Musselman P1 Honda Circuit, where we'll be doing some more shakedown there, and then heading to Wild Horse Pass. So again, I don't wanna tell you guys too much detail about the next video, so you're gonna have to stay tuned, keep watching, and find out what happens when we go out for our first shakedown test.